Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Karl.
I'm Bryn.
Bryn O'Brien.
Yes. It actually, though, on my name tag says Brian
I was
O'Brien.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
Hi, K-O-K.
Just kidding.
K and
Bruce.
Bruce, how you going? Hi.
Thanks for meeting us. An awesome shirt.
Oh, well, I was advised by my fashion designer, my 9-year-old daughter, to wear the pink snakeskin today.
This particular time in our lives, we are all at a bit of a crossroads, which is how we've been brought together. And we are travelling around Australia interviewing people that appear to have made decisions where they've balanced up a range of interests and followed their passions. And I know that you are an incredibly passionate person and you love what you do. So that's why we've
So what are
come
these
to you.
crossroads that you're all at?
I'm actually in my final year of uni. I have no idea what I want to be doing after graduation. I'm just wanting some sort of direction so I can head towards something and not just be in no man's land.
You're never going to find meaning until it's all over. You don't get that sort of message. You don't get that signal about what you really want to do. So there is a meaning to life, but it's really hard to find out what it is. In fact, life tends to get meaning by what you do. Well, I've been very lucky because I've always done stuff that I love to pieces. Yeah. But what it does mean is that there have been large periods of my life, decades, during which my income has been very close to zero. I worked for Fred Hollows for a while. I designed and built a machine for him to pick up electrical signals off the human eyeball to diagnose certain types of eye diseases. Yeah. And so during that time, the way I survived, because the amount of money that they paid me to design and build this machine was nothing, was by going down to the fruiters' shops and getting boxes of their thrown out fruit. And so I lived on free fruit and veg and occasional bits of meat and soybeans. And it cost me nothing to survive. So I could do what I loved. And by the time I was 30, I had managed to save, I think, $3 in my bank account, which works out to 300 cents, 3 cents a year for my whole life. But I've been very happy.
Yeah, and see, that's really interesting to talk about. You living this certain way of life so that you can do things that you love.
Well, I do love going to work all the time, and I pretty well love doing everything I do. But I never really understood why I wanted to do medicine until I was in the early 40s, and I was working at the kids' hospital, and this 3-year-old kid came in, and the parents came in, and then they burst into tears. Even though I knew what was wrong with the kid, he was pneumonia. He was hot, he was breathing fast, he was in pneumonia. But to treat the family, not the kid, what I did was go through the whole goddamn examination just to make the parents happy. And I said, look, we've got good news, we've got bad news. I said, the bad news is that your kid has pneumonia, and if you were unfortunate enough to be living in a poor country, he'd soon be dead. The good news is that we live in a wealthy country. We'll admit him, stab him, put some antibiotics in him. In 20 hours, you won't know the difference. They burst into tears. I burst into tears. And at that moment, I knew that I knew that what I really wanted to do, and I don't know why, was liberate people from what holds them back. And it makes sense to me. And then people will come up to me in the street and say, I was listening to your radio show, and as a result, I've decided to go and finish my high school certificate, or I'm going to finish my PhD. That somehow inspires people to improve their lives. That's what I really enjoy doing. Liberating people from what holds them back. I didn't discover that until my middle 40s. So how can you work out what you want to do? And you never find out at the time. Like, I never understood that when I was doing medicine. When I decided to go into medicine, I didn't know I was doing it. But it was just that event at about 1:30 on a Monday morning, on a weekend, when we all burst into tears, I suddenly realised that was what gave my life meaning.
What do you know now that you wish you have known when you were our age?
Number one, never have sex with anybody who has more problems than you do. The sex is great, but you'll pay for it psychologically over and over. Number 2, learn the difference between happiness and fun, because you can have so much fun, but you're not deeply happy. And finally, everybody has to die. What matters is that you have a good death. That's about it. That's all I've learned in life. It's not much, is it?
That sounds like a lot to me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Did the sex one resonate? Ahoy! How are you, Dr. Bruce? No, what a fabulous bus.
It is, it's pretty cool.
Okay, I've got it. Here we go. Is this the pen? Indelible? So it says, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. Done.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Peace, love, mung beans. Dr. Bruce, Dr. Kay, happy travelling.
Thanks
Happy
so much.
travelling, Dr. Bryn O'Brien.
Dr.
Bryn.
Brian O'Brien.